Welcome to my channel. I'm Dani Walker. This is my Miss Universe 2019 post-arrival favorites episode. Thank you so much for clicking this episode. If you're new, please subscribe and hit the notifications bell, as well as follow me on social media at Dani Walker. I have never done a post-arrival favorites video, but some of you messaged me about it and I am putting this together real quick for you. So I want to talk about a couple things before I talk about the girls that have been standing out to me after fittings and registration. Number one, it seems as though the girls have been there for several days and they haven't even been outside of the hotel, which is really sad. I think that a part of what you win as a national title holder when you go to an international competition is the experience. And I think that the experience for every contestant should be at a top priority, right up there with production level for a show and also the year of reign for your new title holder. I feel like those things should be really high on the list. And I'm really sad to see that as the contestants are in Atlanta right now, they haven't really been going anywhere or doing anything super cool. This is what we saw happen at Miss USA 2019 when the girls were in Reno. Most of their activities were in the hotel. So number one, I am very disappointed about that. Second big issue here is that the venue is so small and that tickets sold out in 60 seconds this year for the final show. I literally already booked a flight to Atlanta and I was waiting for the tickets to go on sale to purchase a ticket. Unfortunately, I was not able to get one. I am still trying to find someone who's maybe selling one. I have not had any success so far and I'm really sad about that. And also that now they are charging $20 for the preliminary competition. For other pageant systems that are a lot smaller, that need a lot more help with sponsors and funding their production, I understand charging that fee. But the thing is that the Miss Universe competition is watched in, over 100 countries. And there are a lot of countries where the American dollar is a lot stronger than in those countries. So to charge $20 American is really inconsiderate of all the pageant fans that are around the world that are trying to tune into the preliminary competition. That just makes me really, really sad that the pageant won't be accessible to a lot of people because of that $20 cost for preliminaries. And I think that's terrible. And also the fact that the entire pageant sold out because the venue was so small. It selling out in 60 seconds just seems really off to me. Like, that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I later found out that state directors for USA were given a link ahead of time. So some people got tickets in advance, but that was only available through a specific link. So basically, if you aren't a Miss USA 2019 state title holder, you didn't get access to those tickets, or if you're not a state director for USA, you didn't get early access. And then now online, basically people who did buy these tickets are upselling them for 10 to 15 times the cost. So if you want to sit in the back row, which is originally a $100 ticket, then you can pay $1,500 or $1,700 now for that back row seat that originally was $100. So I don't know who's buying up these tickets, if it's literally bots are buying it and people are trying to just scalp them, but it's really unfortunate for all the people who literally made plans. And it's not only me, I know so many other people and so many other friends who literally had all of their accommodations to fly to Atlanta and to stay in Atlanta, and now none of us can get tickets. Aside from all of that stuff, let's talk a little bit about the contestants. In recent years, we've really seen IMG lean towards the importance of contestants being more than just a beautiful face, and we've seen, their stories really come into play, and it seems like they're really setting up Miss Universe 2019 for that. I'm a little bit sad too because I've been watching the coverage of the contestants, and some of the contestants are being chosen for special things and obviously others aren't, which is pretty normal. We do see a lot of that. Since they haven't spent a lot of time outside of the hotel, there are very limited opportunities for us to see these contestants that are coming from all over the world and who have sacrificed so much and given so much. There's a really minimal amount of places that we get to see all of the contestants, and that makes me really, really sad because I believe that the competition should be fair. I know that when there's so many girls, it's going to be really hard to feature all of them, but you should make plans ahead of time so that each of them can be a part of the show in one way or another, and we're really not seeing that. One of the things that the contestants are doing is a Chi hair care photo shoot, and that's one of the sponsors. It makes a lot of sense, but contestants, for example, that have been featured in those types of shoots are France, USA, Brazil, Thailand, Puerto Rico, basically all of these sort of like front runners, all of the contestants that get a lot of coverage. And don't get me wrong, I love seeing those contestants. I love seeing what they're up to, but my heart really goes out to all of the other countries who maybe don't have the financial resources to send their national title holder to Miss Universe to be fully prepared and extremely competitive. But regardless of that, I think that those women should still have the full experience and have the chance to be a part of some really, great events and have some other opportunities just because they are at Miss Universe. So it's really sad to me to see basically only our front runners, like the girls that are going to be in semifinals during the show, chosen for special things like the Chi hair care photo shoot. If you look at the coverage online, people have been posting behind the scenes footage of the camera crews getting certain shots of the girls that are in preparation for prelims and the final show. And who are they filming? Like they're filming Thailand. And, she's one of my favorites. I've talked about her and I think that that's so great. But if we're talking about these shots of the contestants for a final show, I would love to see things done with a little more equity. And I would really like to see the contestants that people don't have picked in their favorites list more a part of the show. It just makes me like so sad as a contestant to see that. I feel like we've seen that a lot with IMG years, but never so much as before and never so evident as before. Basically, the girls that are getting featured, I would expect all of them to be in a semifinal. So specifically, I'll give you a few that I have seen a ton of coverage of: Philippines, Puerto Rico, France, Indonesia, USA, Thailand, South Africa, Colombia, India, and Vietnam. So these are the ones that we are seeing all across social media that are featured in multiple parts of the show. And it just, I'm happy to see them. Like I said, love these ladies. Like, this is awesome. I'm super happy for them. But like, what about the other countries that just don't get as much press and coverage? Like, why aren't we featuring them more during the show? I don't care if they're gonna win or not. Like, they worked so hard to get to Miss Universe, just as hard as other contestants did, and I think that they should be featured during the show whether or not we think that they're going to make a semifinal. That's something that really irritates me. If I were running the Miss Universe organization, we would draw from a hat for each of those different events and appearances, and we would pick girls randomly to be featured in different shots, because I think that that's really just like what's fair. These are my thoughts on contestants, but I also want to know, who have you loved after Miss Universe arrivals? Who is the country that is really sticking out to you that you think that they are going to be our next Miss Universe? Regardless of that, let's talk about my favorites a little bit. So basically, the ones that have really stood out to me when I see them at events and appearances right now is number one, Vietnam. Whoever is dressing and styling Miss Vietnam needs to be hired by MUO. Her wardrobe is so phenomenal. To me, it reminds me of when Gabriella Isler won Miss Universe. Her wardrobe was so stunning and beautiful, and all of her outfits were so well put together and so well styled. That is what I am seeing right now from Miss Vietnam. I mean, she did not disappoint, and I am just like super excited to see her evening gown, because I imagine it's just going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see Vietnam's gown. And obviously Thailand is not disappointing. She is very chic, very well styled. Right along those lines for me is Philippines. She's looking fabulous. And somebody that I'm not really surprised that's looking amazing is France. And also, like I've mentioned before, she has red hair that's going to help to make her stand out visually, just because she looks a little bit different than everyone else. Love her wardrobe. It's all very French, it's all very classic, and I'm such a fan of that, and I can easily see her in top 5. If you haven't already tuned in to my pre-arrival favorites, then check out this episode right up here as well. South Africa's styling and wardrobe and just everything is so perfectly fitted, and it all looks so custom. I'm just like, wow, they're coming for that Universe title. So those are the ladies that for me now are starting to like rise above other contestants in the competition. Now granted, I am just basing this off of seeing them at events and appearances and seeing their wardrobe, their hair, their makeup, how they're behaving on camera, all of those little things. That's where I'm forming these opinions, because I think that those things are really great indicators of how well prepared a contestant is going to be, like actually when she hits the stage. As expected, Miss Brazil is also
also looking so competitive and fabulous. I expect a lot of great things from her during prelims and finals.
Now, someone that I talked about too is our Miss USA, Chesley. A lot of people underestimated her, and I think she's surprising so many people right now at Miss Universe for like how great she looks. But one thing that someone kind of mentioned, and I do agree with, is that like I want to see that she's having so much fun. I love that she's in there and like representing the US and out for that crown, but at the same time, just like have a good time. have a really good time and like enjoy the experience. I hope that that's something we're just gonna like see more of her playful side, because I feel like watching everything behind the scenes, she hasn't been as like fun and playful and relaxed, and I'm just worried she's gonna be a little bit too serious for finals. Oh, another one I almost forgot. Oh my goodness. Ireland has been looking phenomenal, and she really stands out to me, so I just cannot wait to see her hit the stage as well. Anyways, those are my thoughts right now about my post-arrival faves. Can't wait to watch the preliminary competition and national costume, and like maybe get a ticket. I got my flight, so maybe I'll get a ticket to Miss Universe and be there. I don't know, but right now it's not looking like I will attend this year. Super bummed about that, guys. You know I would have loved to bring you a Miss Universe vlog if I could have, but thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and follow me on social media at Dani Walker.